Oh, I think I'm videoing. Let's see. Yes, I am. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Sorry, a little bit of wind might be problematic, but my apologies. Got to switch cameras, got to get around to that. But so much to do, so little time to do it, blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, Professor Anton, I'll call this video Frankengod. Because that's all that's going on now. We've sort of nailed it, right? We've sort of exposed the atheist of YouTube. They're not atheists, they're frickin' Frankengodists. They've taken the beauty of the universe, or, oh, isn't it incredible, the amazing life story, the amazing blah, blah, blah. They've glorified a DNA molecule, glorified the process of evolution. I mean, it's been going on. I mean, even when I was a kid, I found some cognitive dissonance, to use Professor Anton's words. I had some cognitive dissonance when I would watch nature programs and watch them glorify, mystify, miraculous lies, the killing, the butchering in front of my face of, animals. Look at the magnificent charge of the, lion beastie, and look at him rip the flesh off the old wildebeestie, and, it was all just so magnificent. Look at that miraculous little maggots eating the brain of the wildebeest. Ooh, isn't that charming? I mean, they just make it all into some sort of magnificent struggle for survival, blah, 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 into some sort of stoic wonder story. And it's just a religion. Let's just call it what it is. That's religion. Alright? It's frickin' gladiator war. Tell me I'm wrong. Explain to me how 4 billion years of animals eating each other, stealing sunlight from each other. That's what we're doing. We're stealing the sun's energy. We collect some of it, and then we steal it from each other on the surface here. That's the economy of life on Earth. Theft. Just grotesque, murderous theft. Alright? 4 billion years of that process, and 500 million years of doing that while the stuff is screaming. The rape victims are screaming, and you people are applauding. That's what we have here. And you're calling it amazing and magnificent and intelligent and secretly intelligent. There's a secret code. That sounds like a religion too, doesn't it? The secret intelligence of the magnificent theftery. The preposterous theft and butchery. So anyway. So it's just religion. So Professor Anton's basically outed himself, even further. I mean, we already knew what he was, but, he can't comprehend the idea of atheist. What do you mean? God doesn't exist. Oh, well, yeah, I concede he doesn't exist, but what do you mean? God doesn't exist. Well, no, I concede that God doesn't exist, but how does that relate to atheism? God doesn't exist. You see how it goes. I mean, let's just blow up another word. Atheism is not a word. That way I can deal with the problem of recognizing that it is unintelligent design, because I can just pretend that it's not a God, but it's God. It's godly, but it's not God. So this is just zombie religion. I guess that'd be another good way to put it. Frankengod and zombie religion. They're waking the dead religion, shooting it full of, whatever juice, and now it's going to go eat your brain. And that's all this philosophy does. This Frankengod and this zombie religion, all it does is eat fucking brains. It eats them and shits them, and so all you have is brain shit left over. Oh, that was a good metaphor. Yeah, but that's what's going on. You start spewing diarrhea out of your mouth. Your brain turns into such rubbish, like Matt. You just ramble incoherently about the universe petting its own ass. And somebody's supposed to say what to that? So anyway, Professor Anton, let's grab some lines out of his mush. So he concedes their harm. He concedes, I've had my own personal struggles with sciatica and whatnot, but I'd still live my life over again. And somehow that's supposed to mean something. Like somehow I'm not supposed to understand that, the animals are going to be compelled by their attachments, that they're going to be driven by them. The question would be to Professor Anton is if I took some innocent humanoid thing of cute enough description form, and I started applying the sciatic pain to it, how many of your pleasures would you give up to have me stop doing that? If the victim wasn't you, if the victim was some innocent thing, like almost like the portrait of Dorian Gray. Let's say you had a portrait of Dorian Gray, and that your pains would be imposed on the portrait, on some disconnected but real sentience. Would your math change? Would you understand the math better? I mean, if your pains and your pleasures were experienced in two different Professor Antons, two clones, right? And one of them got all the pleasures, and one of them got all the miseries. Would you be able to see how this doesn't work? How this math doesn't make sense? All right. But I don't want to get into an argument about our subjective attachments to playing the game, the subjective ego mechanism, because we know the ego mechanism is insane, right? People for no good reason walk on tacks. People for no good reason jump into the atmosphere and fall to Earth at 800 miles an hour for no good reason, because of their drivenness, because of their addiction to glory and accomplishment. So the fact that you say, better to have been, doesn't mean much, because you're only saying it from a deprived, uncompleted, unsatisfied position. And I know you're going to reject the notion that you are in that condition, but I'm going to argue that if I put you in a satisfied condition, you would know, you would be able to see with your Spockian logic then just how gamed you were by ego. The only thing that clings us to this earth is ego. Is a sense of incompleteness, a sense of undoneness, a sense of unfinishedness. I haven't got my Nobel Prize yet. I'm not done till I have one of those. That kind of bullshit. And that hunger for accomplishment is incessant. You can't stop it. If I give you $1 million, you'll want $1,010,010. You'll just never frickin' stop. And we see it. It's proven fact. It just doesn't need to be proven. And it starts when you're a little kid at Christmas. You get your big pile of goodies, and the next day you're thinking, damn, I could use the karate grip on that damn G.I. Joe. Fuck, that thing didn't have quite what I thought. That wasn't exactly what... And there we go. The game's on again. The new list is being written. All right, I didn't want to get into this part of it. I wanted to get into the Frankengod part of it, which is that somehow we can't understand what's going on here, and that somehow our intelligence, the fact that we have an intelligence, is somehow a reflection of the universe being intelligent, which is absolute nonsense. The universe is grotesquely crude material process. And it's only through a very subtle circumstance of new universal process that we happen. So like diamonds form under great pressure, under perfect circumstances in the Earth's crust, or emeralds or rubies, like that phenomenon. The phenomenon of replicating molecule can happen in the right circumstances. And that's all it is. It's just like one of those things. It doesn't have any intrinsic substantive meaning. It isn't the function of the universe to create matter with properties. It's a consequence of the crude mechanism of the universe that properties arise. And those properties are not intrinsically functional or productive. There's nothing productive about a diamond or a ruby or an emerald. It's different, but it's different is meaningless. It doesn't have any substance. It only has value to humans because we're humans and we cherish rare things. But beyond that, it has no function. It's not the universe's clitoris or something. It's not some kind of magic little button. It's nothing. It's just more matter. It's not more substantive than a gray rock. Just a stupid little gray rock. It's not better than this or more functional than this or more anything than this, except rare. All right, so let's go. So understand. And what's the basic mechanism of the universe? Gravity and movement. All right, so there's attraction, or you can call it repulsion. What moves things? Repulsion, maybe? Propulsion, repulsion, similar words, maybe for good reason. Things are repelled into the world, and then they attract. They get caught up in gravities. That's kind of the mechanism of it. And what are we doing? We're running on the same kind of mechanism. We're being deprived of something, and we're chasing it. A piece of us we're born into the universe lacking, wanting, and we go get the want. We go chase the missing bits. What we've defined as lacking or missing. What we feel as missing. And so it's very much the same kind of mechanism, but let's understand it further in the context of just chemical process. So what? You don't believe in abiogenesis, or do you? The chemistry did something bizarre, a mixture of multiple chemicals in a perfect storm environment, tornadoed themselves into replication, into blueprint replication, which is the key ingredient. Because the blueprint is what is evolving. We're just the cover story. We're just the demo model. The blueprint is doing the evolving. My DNA molecule is evolving. I'm not. I'm just an expression of the molecule. I'm the test vehicle for this version 4 gazillion 974 of DNA molecule. And that's all. And 4 billion years of DNA fighting with DNA. Brother eating brother. Effectively, essentially, this is what evolution is made out of. The children eating the parents eating the children, the brothers eating the sisters eating the brothers. Consumption of itself in a vicious war to merely declare yourself the winner so you can be killed and it can start all over again. That's the reality of this. And intelligence is just a byproduct used to navigate the gladiators through the battle. Most of our intelligence is devoted to scheming. We're sitting here trying to figure out, how do I pull the rug out from under the other fucker? How do I play the game so I win? There's nothing admirable in its application in our lives. It's being applied grotesquely, crassly. And the little times, the little moments we spend doing something at all dignified, or graceful, or eloquent, again ends up just being to aggrandize the human race. Nothing else. Our intelligence is completely a slave to our ego, our desire, our gladiator function, our DNA molecules success. And only in the last 10,000 years, since the invention of birth control, have we been able to even exercise any control over the fact that we are just dupes to this gladiator war. So there's nothing to beautify here. There's nothing to... Quit gilding this turd. That's all you're doing. You're just gold-plating cat shit and selling it as sparkly, shiny. It's not. It's Frankengod. Your philosophy is Frankengod. You've sewn together a few parts of reality to a bunch of religious nonsense, and then trying to sell it as humanity, and it's not. It's a brain-destroying waste. It's an insult to intelligence. It isn't a glorification of it. It isn't a monument to it. It's a monument to desperation. It's a monument to recklessness. It's a monument to sloppy logic. It's a monument to convenience. Give me a story that's more palatable than my life is but a dupery. But that's what it is. You have been duped. You have been used. You are playing a bad game. And it's time to either force it to be a good game or admit defeat. And stop laying eggs on cat shit. Stop laying eggs in cesspools. Stop promoting a game that can't be sensibly played. Jeez. Yeah. Quit making zombies. That's what you're doing. You're just making more zombies. Just making more people. Brainless, mindless monsters. They can do nothing but destroy logic, destroy civilization, destroy efficiency, destroy function. They don't drive very well, and you can't let them drive humanity's bus. Yeah. Anyway, I believe I've accomplished my task once again, and so we'll move on to the next round in the war. Yeah, I'm just really... Jeez, when you think of it that way, it is like round 7,000 in an endless battle. Anyway, till next time and such. One of these tires has a sensor problem, which I must diagnose and heal. Until next time. Whoa! I guess I'm still here. I'm back. Yay! So, successful repair. So I feel good about being successful in my repair, and this really is quite lovely, you know. But really, it just doesn't make up for all the bad stuff. It really doesn't. Come on, people. But that's what it's always going to come down to, I guess. So that's sort of the theme of the Frankengod. It's just basically saying, well, look, life might be created badly. It might be, maybe it wasn't such a good thing, 4 billion years of carnage. But look what we have. We're sitting on top of the world now. Yeah, we're on the brink of economic disaster, and we have 7 billion passengers on the, Earth / Titanic. And, but it's a lovely day, and I'm sure things are going tweet, and butterflies are, well, they're dying. But anyway, we won't even talk about them. But man, that really is, glare in the, too much sun. I have to get closer to under this tree. There you go. Now there you go. That's paintable. Yes, it is. Yep. Except you got to put me in it. Then it's paintable. See, with me in it, it's paintable. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. So it's all very nice, but oh, come on. Don't make more of it. Just don't need to do this again. I'm actually getting a headache. Yeah, anyway, Sonny's doing it now. Anyway, keep doing that. So what can I add to this whatever? You know, life just isn't that complicated, and there's just nowhere to look in there and find anything of an intelligent design, deliberate, purposeful. It doesn't feed any need but the illusionary needs in our head. And, you know, people like Frankengod talk about, you know, controlling this and controlling that and minimizing this and, you know, neutralizing your boredom or neutralizing this. But know what they don't want to neutralize is their desire. I mean, this is the joke. Their desperations, their attachments are all glorious. And it's the ones they see in other people that aren't. And that's just, you know, that's duplicity is what it is. It's not just hypocrisy. It's duplicitous. You know, to say, you know, you find it acceptable, therefore everybody else has to. You find it stimulating and interesting, therefore everybody else has to. That's all you're basically saying. I'm saying this is a version of fun park that doesn't appeal to me at all. You know, maybe if it was an arcade, lots of pinball machines and blinkety-dinkities and girls in halters, pool tables, well, I might say, yeah, let's go there. But loopity-loop rides and swings and, I don't know, upsy-downsies and spin-aroundsies, I got no interest in that shit. I really don't. And that's what we're basically arguing over. You're saying this is all worth it. And I'm saying, hell no. And you're saying your preferences and desires and values are good. And so you're going to impose and force me along for the ride. And that's the bottom line. So we're back to the imposition argument. So deal with that one. Why should your subjective, merely perceptual, you can't rationally make an argument that it's intrinsically good to do this, why should your perception of its goodness be good enough to force me to your version of Fun Park, when I think it's a barfatorium, it's disgusting, it's no fun at all. You know, just horror, just way too expensive. You know, that's the worst part. I have to pay to get into the damn thing. It's bad enough I don't want to go. You're stealing the money out of my pocket. Make me play. What the fuck is that? It's just wrong. And to say I have a right when I get there to the fun park, I arrive, that I somehow have a right to walk home. You know, oh, screw you. I have a right to blow my brains out. Yeah, well, it should have been my right not to have to do that. That's one of the things I'd like to avoid. That's one of the fun rides on your theme park I'd rather avoid. I don't want to have anything to do with any of it. And you don't have a rational justification to keep dragging my kind, and that's what we're talking about, my kind, back here. And now we haven't even gotten to the animal equation that you all dismiss so casually. You know, the attrition rate in nature is abhorrent, disgusting. There's no heroin or morphine or alcohol or anything out there for them. There's no painkillers, no antidepressants, no, you know, there's nothing. Just harsh and brutal. You know, so this is, sorry, professors. There's just no rational argument to defend promoting something that quite obviously doesn't have a function. It's a pet rock. You can't keep selling it.
Wait for me. Hey,
I don't. So that's all we got. It's pet rock all over the place. And you're all selling it like it's the golden rock of truth, the sparkly, shiny diamond rock of invincibility, the stoarosic ruby juby. I mean, you're just selling it with hype and glitter, the monorail, whatever. You're just selling snake oil. That's all it is. It's just bad medicine. That's what it is. Bad medicine. You're just taking advantage of people's hope and wish and want for something better than a cage match. That's what it's made out of. And, it's not that big a deal just to concede it. And just say, well, we're here, we'll make the best of it. We're at the park. Let's try to suffer through it. But yeah, let's not drag anybody else here. It's kind of like I was watching a Jurassic Park movie. It's kind of like Jurassic Park, right? Because each, Jurassic Park 2, then Jurassic Park 3, they just kept making the same mistake, right? I mean, they keep thinking this is something they can play with, and they keep learning you can't play with it. It's going to fuck you up, right? And that's what it comes down to. And life is like that. This isn't something to play with. You're going to get tyrannosaured. It's going to get you. It's going to bite too much in half. There's going to be too much blood on the walls. So just let it go. Quit dancing with this death machine. Quit. That's really enough right there. Quit dancing with death. Quit dancing with doom. Just can't go anywhere. And we've been there and we've done that. We've been eaten by the Tyrannosaurus already. We don't need to keep doing it. Yeah. I mean, learn from the past. Learn from the writing on the wall. Just read it. Read the writing on the wall. It's unsustainable. It's unplayable. And you keep forcing it, you're just going to keep failing. And you're going to fail at somebody else's expense. Theoretically, at your own, in the sense that if you're hurting another sentient being, you're hurting yourself. Theoretically. It's no better. It's no different. The only difference is who it personally happens to. But if it happens to any of us, it doesn't matter. It's happened. It's part of the price. You're in a bigger economy than your own welfare. I keep saying shit like that, and people just really don't get it, but it's the truth. You being happy does not mean this game wins. And that's just the way it is. Because your one wheel on the shopping cart is going the right way, doesn't mean the rest of them are. And it doesn't mean the cart's not going to be, flying off the cliff. Yeah, whatever. Metaphor. So that's probably enough. Until the next time. I got so much I got to do, and I really am too tired now. Tired. I haven't done anything. I have done things, but it's not enough things to be tired over. But my own motivational issues. Anyway, till next time. And such and whatnot.